Dear viewers, welcome to our channel GVS Bank Academy. Today I am going to discuss JAB accounts case studies. 4 case studies I am going to discuss. These case studies are very useful for the preparation of JAB accounts paper examination. Debt equity ratio of a firm is 4:1. Debt equity means long term loan to equity or long term loan to net worth is 4:1. It means 1 rupee net worth or equity, 4 rupees is long term loans or debt worth. That is. Current ratio 2:1. Current assets are 2, current liabilities are 1. That is called current ratio. Total assets 20 lakhs. Total assets are 20 lakhs and owned funds net worth is 3 lakhs. Net worth is 3 lakhs. Total assets are 20. Owned funds means net worth. Net worth is 3 lakhs. So net worth 1. Debt equity ratio 4:1 means net worth is 1, long term loans are 4. Here they are already given net worth is equal to 3 lakhs. So 1 is equal to 3 lakhs. Now, what is the amount of current assets you have to calculate? What is the amount of current assets from the given data? You have to calculate the current. They had given debt equity ratio long term loans to net worth 4:1. Every 1 rupee equity or net worth, long term loans are 4. They had already given net worth or own funds 3 lakhs. So long term loans are 12 lakhs. We can now total assets are 20 lakhs already given. So total assets are 20 lakhs. Total liabilities are also 20 lakhs. As for balance sheet equation, total assets is equal total of liabilities. Both are equal. So total assets 20 lakhs. Total liabilities are also 20 lakhs. Balance sheet equation tally. Now, owned funds means net worth 3 lakhs. Net worth is 3 lakhs. That is equivalent to 1. As for this ratio, debt to equity, net worth, long term loan to net worth 4:1. Sir, 1 is equal to 3 lakhs. Now, what is the 4? Debt equity ratio for long term loan to net worth. So, that's why long term loans or long term debt is equal to 3 lakhs into 4. This is 4, 12 lakhs. So long term loans are 12 lakhs. Long term loans means payable after 1 year from the date of balance sheet date. That is called long term loans, 12 lakhs. 12 lakhs into 3 lakhs. Again, you can calculate reverse check also. 4:1 is the debt equity ratio. So, okay, you had calculated long term loans. We had calculated. And net worth also we had calculated. Net worth 3 lakhs. Long term loans 12 lakhs. So 12 plus 3, 15 lakhs. Total liabilities 20 lakhs. Total liabilities are 20 lakhs. You have to calculate current liabilities. Current liabilities is equal total liabilities 20 lakhs minus net worth 3 lakhs minus long term liabilities 12 lakhs. 20 lakhs minus 3 lakhs plus 12 lakhs. So 15 lakhs. 20 minus 15, that is current liabilities are 5 lakhs. Total assets liabilities are 20 lakhs. Out of 20 lakhs, net worth is 3 lakhs. Long term liabilities are 12 lakhs. 3 plus 12, 15 lakhs. Total liabilities 20 lakhs minus net worth and long term liabilities 15 lakhs. You will get current liability. You will get current liability 5 lakhs. Current liability 5 lakhs. Now, current ratio also they had given. Current ratio 2:1. Current ratio 2:1. 2:1. So, current liabilities are 1. Current assets are 2. So, current liabilities are 1 is equal to 5. Current liabilities 1 is equal to 5 lakhs. Now, what is equal? 2 is equal to 5 lakhs into 2, 10 lakhs. Current liabilities are 5 lakhs. Current assets are 5 into 5 lakhs into 2, 2:1, 2, 10 lakhs. Now we calculate the current ratio. Current assets 10 lakhs divided by current liabilities 5 lakhs. Again you will get 2:1. So this is the answer for this question is current assets 10 lakhs. So in this manner they are giving examination not only in JIB, in promotional examination also they are giving. This is called debt equity ratio. And a current asset. This is a case study number 1. Current ratio 2:1. Current assets divided by current liabilities 2:1. 2:1 means 1 rupee current liability, 2 rupees current assets. Quick ratio 1.5:1. Quick ratio 1.5:1 means current assets minus stock. Quick ratio 1.5 is equal current assets minus stock is equal to 1.5. Current liabilities 1. This is it. So quick ratio or quick assets is equal to current assets minus stock divided by current liabilities. You will get quick ratio. Current liabilities they are given 1,60,000. 1 is equal to 1,60,000. Current ratio, current liability is 1. In the current ratio 1 is equal to 1,60,000. Now what is the amount of value of inventory? Inventory stock or inventory value how much? This is the question. Now answer is current assets are current liability 1,60,000 means 1 is equal to 1,60,000, 2 is equal to how much? 2 into 1,60,000. Current liability 1, current assets are 2. So 2 is equal to 3,20,000. 1,60,000 into 2, 3,20,000 current assets. Current assets 3,20,000, current liability is 1,60,000. Then you will get a current ratio is 2:1. 3,20,000 divided by 1,60,000, you will get 2:1. That is 1. Now, liquid assets, quick assets means current assets minus stock. That is equal. That current assets minus stock equal to 1.1. 1.1, 1.5 is equal to liquid assets. 1 is equal to 1.6 lakhs. 1.5 is equal to how much? 1,60,000 lakhs into 1.5. 2,40,000. 1 is equal to 1,60,000. Already they had given. 1.5 is equal to how much? 2,40,000. 2,40,000. Then stock. Value of stock or inventory is equal to total current assets 3,20,000 minus quick assets 3,20,000 minus 2,40,000. Quick assets are stock value is 80,000. Quick assets means current assets minus stock. In this example, we have to discuss current assets minus stock. Current assets are 3,20,000 minus quick assets 2,40,000. You will get stock is 80,000. Or one this is the question, answer to the question. What is the amount of value of inventory means 80,000. Now here in this case you have to know clearly about the quick ratio, meaning current assets minus stock divided by current liabilities. This is the question. You have to current assets is to 1,20,000 60,000 3,20,000. Quick assets 1.5 is equal to 1 is equal to 1,60,000. 1.5 is equal to 2,40,000 quick assets. The difference between current assets minus quick assets is stock. 3,20,000 minus 2,40,000, that is 80,000 is the stock. So value answer is 80,000 in this question. Long term question number 3. Case study number 3. Long term uses of a firm. Long term uses 80 rupees. Long term uses means normally investment in fixed assets. Long term purchase of fixed, invested in the long term assets, that is called long term use. Investment in the long term assets or investments in fixed assets, that is called long term use is 80 rupees. Total liabilities 240. Balance sheet total liabilities 240. Current ratio is 2:1. So current assets are 2, current liabilities are 1. What are the current assets and current liabilities? With this information, you have to calculate this. With this information, you have to calculate current assets, current liabilities. Total liabilities are 240 and fixed assets. Long-term uses means you can presume that these are fixed assets and current ratio is 2:1. Calculate current assets and current liabilities. Now, long-term uses are 80. That is presumed that these are fixed assets. Fixed assets. Amount invested in fixed assets 80 rupees. Total liabilities are 240 means Total assets are also 240. Balance sheet equation, total liabilities 240 means total assets are also 240. Okay. Out of total assets 240, fixed assets are 80. Total liabilities 240, total assets are 240. Out of total assets, long-term uses, fixed assets are 80. Current assets is equal, with this example, in this question we are discussing, current assets is equal to, if there is no other non-current assets, current assets is equal to 240, 240 minus 80, 160. Total liabilities 240 means balance sheet equation total assets are also equal to 240. Out of 240, in this presumed that there is no other non-current assets. So what are the current assets? 240 minus 80, current assets are 160. Current assets are 160. Current ratio 2:1. 2 is equal to 160. Current ratio 2 is equal to 160. 1 is equal to how much? Current liabilities 80. 2 is equal to 160. 1 is equal to 80. Current liability 80. Now calculate current ratio. 160 divided by 80. You can get current ratio 2:1. Reverse check also correct. 160 divided by 80. 2:1. Current liabilities current ratio. Now this is the answer. Current assets are 160 and current liabilities are 80. This is the answer to this case study number 3. Now this question, this word is important. Long-term uses means fixed assets or any other long-term investments. Number 2, total assets are 240. 240 minus long-term uses 80, remaining 160 the current assets. One assumption is there is no other non-current assets. Subject to there is no other non-current assets. This is the question. This is the case study number 3. Case study number 4, balance sheet of a firm as on one particular date. Current assets 600 lakhs. Current assets 600 lakhs. Long-term sources 600 lakhs. Long-term sources means net worth, capital and net worth and long-term loans also. Long-term sources means net worth plus long-term loans 600 lakhs. Total of the balance sheet 1000 lakhs. Total of the balance sheet is 1000. Total of the balance sheet is 1000 lakhs. 1000 lakhs total of the balance sheet. Now what is the amount of NWC, net working capital and current ratio? This we have to calculate. Total of the balance sheet is 1000 lakhs. Current assets are 600 lakhs. Long term sources are 600 lakhs. When total of the balance sheet 1000 lakhs, liabilities are also 1000 lakhs, because balance sheet equation assets is equal to 1000 lakhs is equal to liabilities is also 1000 lakhs. Now total liabilities are 1000 lakhs. Total liabilities are also 1000 lakhs. Total liabilities are 1000 lakhs. Liabilities are 1000. Long term sources, that is capital plus long term liabilities is equal 600 lakh. Current liabilities is equal 1000 minus 600. 1000 current total liability minus long term sources 600. Current liabilities are 400 lakhs. Current assets are already given. Current assets are 600 lakhs. NWC is equal 200 lakhs. In this example, once again, balance sheet of a firm, current assets are 600 lakhs, long term sources are 600 lakhs, total of the balance sheet 1000 lakhs. 1000 lakhs. Now total liability is also 1000 lakhs. Balance sheet equation same manner. Balance sheet equation same manner. Liabilities is equal, total liabilities is equal total assets in this case. Long term sources is equal to long term 600 lakhs is equal to capital or net worth plus long-term liabilities 600 lakh. 600 lakhs. Total liabilities are 1000 lakhs. Total liabilities are 1000 lakhs minus long-term source 600 lakh. Current liabilities are 400 lakh. 1000 minus 6000, 1000 minus 600, 400 lakh is the current liability. Now, current assets already they had given. Current assets are 600 lakhs already given in the problem. Now, NWC. NWC is equal net working capital. Net working capital is equal current assets 600 lakhs minus current liability 400 lakhs. NWC is 200 lakhs. NWC is 200 lakhs. Net working capital is 600 current assets minus current liability is 400. That is NWC is 200 lakhs. This is it. Then current ratio, current assets by current liability. Current ratio is equal 600 lakh divided by 400 lakh. Current ratio is 1.5:1. So it means every 1 rupee of current liability, current assets are 1.5 rupee. So this is the. Now once again, total current assets are 600 lakhs. Current assets. Long-term sources are 600 lakhs. In this, you have to understand immediately. Long-term sources means capital plus long-term liabilities. This you have to understand. Then total balance sheet is 1000 lakhs means total liabilities are also 1000 lakhs. That you have to understand first. Then you start. Long-term sources, capital plus long-term liabilities 600. Current liabilities is equal to total liabilities 1000 lakhs minus long-term sources, capital and long-term liabilities 600. Current liabilities are 400. Current assets already given in the problem 600 minus 400 lakhs current liabilities. NWC net working capital is equal to 200 lakhs. Current ratio, current assets 600 divided by 400, 1.5:1. This is the, so the first important point in this problem is 2 points you have to remember. Total of the balance sheet 1000 lakhs is equal to liabilities also 1000 lakhs. And long-term sources means capital, net worth plus long-term loans. That we have to identify. Then problem is very. This is the case study number 4. This type of question they are asking in the exam. Then importance questions with answers. Ordinary annuity means payments are, the coupon payments are required at the end of the period, each year. That is called ordinary annuity. Payments are required to pay at the end of each period, ordinary annuity. Annuity due. Payments are required at the payment at the beginning of each period. This is annuity due means payments you have to made at the beginning of each year means or each month. That is called annuity due. These questions they are asking compulsory one question, 2 questions. A bond price is inversely related to its YTM, yield to maturity. Bond price is more, YTM is less. YTM is more, bond price is less. That is called inversely related bond price to YTM. This question is also they are asking generally. Zero coupon bonds. In the principle and practice of banking also this question they are asking. Zero coupon bonds are means bonds are issued at discount to the face value and on maturity or redemption the companies are going to pay the face value of the bond. Zero coupon bonds issued at discount, on maturity they are paying the face value of the bond. Now commercial paper, certificate of deposit, treasury bills, all are examples of zero coupon bonds. It means after investment till maturity, the investors are not getting any interest during that investment period. That is called zero coupon bonds. Net present value. This is one of the discounted cash flow technique. Total of, how we are going to calculate net total of discounted present value of future cash flows. Future cash flows we are converting into today's value at a discounted factor. The total of the value minus initial investment, project initial cost. If it is positive, then we can go to invest in that project. That is called net present value positive, then we can invest in that proposal. Arm's length transaction. This is normally accounting standards it will come. Arm's length transaction means a transaction between two unrelated persons, two independent persons. That is the first meaning is a transaction between two independent or unrelated parties yet ruling prevailing market rates. Any transaction taken place two independent or unrelated parties yet ruling present market rates, the transaction is called as arm's length transaction. These are the some important questions. These are the questions. Now, some important abbreviations they are asking in the examination or for the preparation of accountancy paper, these are required also. ASB, Accounting Standard Board. Accounting standards are issued by Accounting Standard Board of ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So that's why ASB, Accounting Standard Board. IASB, International Accounting Standard Board. IASB, International Accounting Standard Board. IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards are going to be issued by this IASB, International Accounting Standard Board. What is IFRS? International Financial Reporting Standards. IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards. CMA, Credit Monitoring Arrangement. It will come in the advances processing. Appraisal में you will get this credit monitoring arrangement form. CMA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 forms are there. Credit monitoring arrangement in loan process proposal preparation. You have to prepare this. This is CMA format is uniform for all the banks. CMA, Credit Monitoring Arrangement. LAF, Liquidity Adjustment Facility. RBI, Liquidity Adjustment Facility. These are the RBI monetary policy tool. Repo, reverse repo, marginal standing facility comes under LAF, Liquidity Adjustment Facility. RBI tool. Net present value, no. Expected net present value. ENPV. Last time also this question was given. Expected net present value is called calculation of net present value under different circumstances, under different scenarios. That is called expected net present value calculation under different scenarios. That is called ENPV. GAAP, generally accepted accounting principle. In the name itself, it is there. Universally, generally, these principles are accepted among all the countries worldwide. That's why this is called as generally accepted accounting principles. PFRDA, Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority. All the pension related issues, the regulatory authority is Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority. This is there. LEF, Large Exposure Framework. This is bank exposure norms from 1st April 2019 onwards. LEF, Large Exposure Framework. Whenever bank is dealing with single counterparty, group counterparty, banks have to follow the Large Exposure Framework guidelines from 1st April 2019 onwards. CRAR, Capital to Risk Weighted Assets Ratio. CRAR of the bank, Capital to Risk Weighted Assets Ratio. This is CRAR. Now, as for Basel III, CRAR requirement for Indian banks, how much? 11.5% of risk weighted assets. So, about the bank's calculation of CRAR means capital to risk weighted assets. These are the important abbreviations for accountancy and principle and practice of banking also useful. CYKCR, CKYCR, Central KYC Records Registry. This is RBI KYC circular. CKYCR, Central KYC Records Registry. Now, VCIP, Video Based Customer Identification Process. Now, banks are started taking the online identification process of the customer with some precautions. When video-based customer identification process, if any bank is taking for KYC purpose, that is treated as good as face-to-face KYC compliance. VCIP, video-based customer identification process, is at par with the face-to-face KYC establishment process. That's why VCIP, video-based customer identification. FATCA, Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, all comes under KYC only. FATCA, Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act. This is US nationals compliance. This is country, this is belongs to US, United States of America. FATCA, Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act. FATF, Financial Action Task Force. This is under prevention of money laundering. FATF, Financial Action Task Force. This is a intergovernmental body situated in Paris. As per this only, all the world countries are members of FATF. This is the intergovernmental body. In compliance with the FATF, in India, our government has started FIUIND, Financial Intelligence Unit India. FIUIND, Financial Intelligence Unit India, with compliance with FATF. All the reports regarding cash transactions report, suspicious transaction report, counterfeit currency reports, all banks have to submit report to FIUIND only. This is under Minister of Finance. CDD, Customer Due Diligence. KYC, Customer Due Diligence. KYC. CERSAI, CERSA, Central Registry of Securitization, Asset Reconstruction and Security Interest of India. CERSAI, CERSA, Central Registry of Securitization and Asset Reconstruction and Security Interest of India. Now, whenever you are giving a loan, to prevent the frauds, all the securities banks have to register with the CERSAI. That is called as, abbreviation is Central Registry of Securitization, Asset Reconstruction and Security Interest of India. Thank you very much for the viewers for your support for our YouTube channel. We are regularly updating various topics for JAB, CAB and promotional exam also. We are regularly morning 6 to 8 we are conducting for JAB, daily morning 6 to 8 JAB classes and evening 7:30 to 9:30 CAB classes. Any interested members are there, please contact the given number on this. Thank you very much viewers for your support to our channel.